Hello and welcome to a special mini episode of North 100. I'm Serge. Joining me as always is Jeremy White, Alex Stacey, and Liam Coughlin. We have read your tweets, we have read the comments, we have seen a question coming up over and over and over, which is, this format sounds sweet, I don't have anybody to play with. Well, we are here to help you with some tips on to how to start a play group in your own area. Let's start off with Alex. Alex, what's a good way to brew with just a friend? You want to battle your buddy.
Build 2 decks.
Okay.
Now, with the caveat, we know that Highlander is a format that requires a lot of cards. A suggestion that we make a lot is like, have more than one deck. Maybe your existing collection can support that. If it doesn't, consider building one or more proxy decks. Basically so that you can loan them out, because it's easier to get somebody into this format if you can just hand them a deck.
Here.
It's just like, oh, I need to explain to you like the nuances of deck building in a 100-card competitive format first, and then convince you to acquire all these cards to try it. But if you just like give them a deck, be like, let's jam, they get all the sick plays, and you're like, oh, this is kind of cool. Maybe I do want to build this exact list or something like it. So yeah, if you own the cards, make 2 decks. Ideally ones that have a 50% matchup, so that you don't just be like, hey, play with me, and it's just like one-shot you every time. That's not so good. But yeah, a couple different ones, if you can swing it, if you gotta throw them together with proxies, that's also acceptable. Just like getting people to play the format, I think, is the best way to at least sort of introduce them to the idea of, getting into it, starting a community, get them into play.
Another thing that's can be quite helpful is getting your local store to help up and start running some events. And Jer works at Yellow Jacket. Jer, do you have anything that an LGS could do if they want to promote the format?
Yeah, if you see, as an LGS employee or maybe just a more ingrained member of the community, the LGS a bit better. If you see people playing Canadian Highlander, or you're trying to start up a play group in your area and you know an LGS pretty well, you can talk to them and try to get them to run a tournament. Talk to the people who play some of the other formats there, like especially the modern legacy competitive EDH players, vintage players if you have them. Those are
a little rare.
Yeah. I mean, I dream I'll have somebody to play vintage with against. So yeah, those are the core groups of people you're gonna look into getting into, and then when you start running tournaments, trying to give away cards as prizes as opposed to like typical standard booster packs could be a little bit more exciting, especially
it's like format staples.
Yeah, especially with people trying to build their collections and build up collections of format staples. That can be a really good way to get more people interested, because if you say you're giving away, say, a Tarmogoyf that's been sitting in your case for a while.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of cards that are very, very good in Highlander that don't really have a home in any other format. It's just like, this is the one where it's like, oh, first place is a Yavimaya Hollow. Sweet.
Exactly.
I'm in.
And another place that could be great, especially if you don't live in areas where you have a lot of people to play with, is to reach out to the online community. And Liam's got some experience with this when we sent him off to Halifax.
Yeah, when you shipped me off to the gulag in Halifax, I slaved away for a year. So online's a really great community. There's a couple of ways that you can do it. Playing online, obviously we're talking about playing on Magic Online. The biggest issue is finding players. And so there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can join a chat channel in Magic Online, which is hashtag #CanHighlander. And if you join that chat channel, maybe there will be people there. What's maybe going to be a slightly higher success rate is there's now a Highlander channel on the LoadingReadyRun Discord. And so if you're interested in finding games online, join the LoadingReadyRun Discord. It's free. Discord's really good. You should use it. And there's a channel there where you can find people to jam with. And yeah, it should be easy enough to find games. A couple of other just important notes about playing on Magic Online. The first one is when you're saving your deck, save it as vintage. And it's the easiest way to get the same cards that are legal in the format. And also, that way you know what to challenge each other under when you're challenging each other on Magic Online. Saving it under vintage, nice and consistent. That's what I've told everyone to do. And then the other thing is when you're playing on Magic Online, you actually get to play with a lot more cards. The cards are just infinitely cheaper on Magic Online. So look to do that. If you're worried about cost, oftentimes Magic Online is like a quarter to a fifth of the cost of cards and paper, and you can sometimes make it work. So yeah, if you're interested in playing online, check out the LoadingReadyRun Discord. Use Magic Online. It's a great way to find some games if you're not close to anyone else.
The last way to sort of find new people to play with is to go to big events. So if you're lucky and you find yourself at a PAX or at a PTQ or a GP, bring a deck with you. You can do two things there. One, you can reach out over social media and hopefully reach people, or you can go up to the event organizers and be like, hey, would it be possible to get a side event to fire for this? We don't even need prize support, just make an announcement, because all of a sudden if the GP megaphone is saying there's a Highlander event in 15 minutes, or people are going to be like, whoa, what's that? Like, it'll be great. We were at PAX West not too long ago. We had 40 people come down to the casual free play. Not just for Highlander, some people brought Commander decks, but a lot of people were down there playing the format, hanging out, and just checking it out, which was kind of fantastic. So anybody else have anything else to add on that? Just a couple of tips as to how to, I mean, this is how we got into it.
Yeah, we had a really cool side event at the last GP Vancouver. We had almost 30 people show up, I think. That was really cool. That was the first, as far as I know, the first Canadian Highlander event we've had at a GP. So
Yeah.
If you're comfortable with your budding play group, lending cards is a big part of our community that really helps people to have access to the cards that they want to use, even if they don't own them yet. But that is, of course, at your own discretion.
Yeah, you're not obligated to lend cards, but if your buddy is short a fetch and you happen to have one, helping them out will go a long way.
Actually, here's the secret tech. Take a picture of them holding up the cards that you loaned them, and then you won't forget. Or you'll just be able to be like, don't actually do that.
So hopefully these tips will help you out in trying to find some people to play with. We love the format. We love your enthusiasm in trying to find people to play with, and hopefully this helps. So from North 100 to you, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.